Hey YouTube, this is Fashion. So today I'm going to do a really quick video, hopefully as quick as possible, on how to do the $50 weave, the ones that are really popular in Atlanta. So first what you got to do is do a braid down. And I'm going to talk while I'm doing this video so I can get as much information in as possible. So what you're going to need is a needle and thread. You're going to need 2 packs of hair if you're going to get hair from the beauty supply store, or 8 ounces if that's what you are choosing to use as ounce hair, which most people don't do because with the $50 weave you have to cut the tracks, and a lot of people don't like to cut the tracks to their ounce hair. So today I'm going to be using packed hair. The hair is going to be blonde in color, so you can see my track placement, and the thread that I'm using as well is going to be blonde in color, so you can see how the thread is placed, which is very important. One thing that you really need to get down when doing this is how to do the left hand pull technique, which is going to help you create your weave a little faster. In this, you do want to do a faster sewing pattern, because a $50 weave, with it only being $50, you don't want to spend all day doing somebody's hair when you're only getting $50 for it. So it's kind of important that you don't take all day, or I will say even an hour to do it, because that'll be pretty bad. You won't make any money. So what you do is you put 2 side braids on, and then you connect them when you get to the end. This is how you're going to make sure that it comes out the flattest as possible, is to connect the braids at the end. And you know, working with mannequin hair is kind of difficult because the hair on a mannequin is really thick. So obviously on somebody's head, your braids won't be as thick as these are. Hopefully. You definitely don't want any thick braids on somebody's own head. So that's your 2 braids. Then you're going to do your braiding in the back. So I don't offer this kind of weave at my studio in the White Plains, New York City Weave Studio. But there are obviously a lot of places that do offer a $50 weave, not necessarily in New York, but obviously in Atlanta, like I said, because that's pretty much where they originated, and some other places throughout the country. If this is something that you decide to go and get, hopefully by watching this video, you'll know what to expect when you get it done. Now, do you see how I just pulled that braid through to connect it? That's what you're going to want to have happen when you're getting your braid down, so you don't have a bunch of hair all over the place, and you want it to obviously be as flat as possible. And this is the basic braid down for the $50 weave. There is a certain amount of braids that you can get when you're getting it done. It's very much a very systematic kind of way of doing a weave. There's not a lot of stuff that you can get done with it. You are to get it installed. You have to have leave out, which is this part that I've clipped up here at the top. It's U-part shaping in nature, the part that's clipped up at the top, and then you just split it and you cover your tracks with it. This weave that I'm doing now, I'm going to do a middle part. So if you're looking for like curls, or you're looking for cutting or any type of layering, $50 weave wouldn't be what you would get. So this is very just basic weave in, flat iron it, no cutting, and that's it. It just comes with the install and the flat iron. Now, a lot of you could do this at home on your friends, which would be kind of cool, a good way for you guys to save some money, because it's very easy. All you really do need to know is most definitely how to braid. And if you can get that left hand pull technique that I'm going to do when I start sewing, if you can get that process down, you will be good to go. So I'm going to start on my other side. Hopefully you guys are following me on my hopefully you guys are following me on my Instagram, which is Cheetah is the New Black. No spaces in that, just spell it out as is. Put it all together. Cheetah is the New Black. I post pictures on a daily basis of what I do inside the studio, you know, as far as clients' hairdos, if they let me. One thing that's really popular right now that a lot of people are getting is using the lace or silk closures on the top, which is good for winter time because then you're not putting any damage on your hair as heat, because your natural hair is already going to get some little, you know, wear and tear dealing with the cold and the wind outside, and plus the heat that you have inside your house. A lot of people ask me how to protect their own hair from damage, which is, you know, I posted a video on my YouTube about how to do heat protection, which a lot of people don't watch, so I might do it over because I guess it's the quality of the video that's not attracting people to it. I had my guy videotaping it for me, and he did a good job, but I think I need to do it over because I did it in my bathroom and lighting wasn't that great. But it's a good video, and it's going to teach you definitely how to protect your leave out, which is what you would want to know how to do if you're getting a weave like this, definitely. People always ask me what kind of products I like to use. Mostly they ask me how to keep their hair from getting damaged while they have the weave in. Most important, obviously, you want to keep your own hair moisturized underneath the weave. Pretty important. I like to use Alter Ego drops while I have my weave in. You can Google that, Alter Ego drops. I believe it's a Dominican product. But you can just, you know, put the drops inside your scalp to keep your braids moisturized while you have it in, which is pretty good. I'm natural myself. I don't relax my hair anymore. I have not for about 6 or 7 years. I just went to a really good product launch event the other day. It was Dark and Lovely has a new natural hair care line. If you can see it over here on the table. They gave me full product, so once I take the weave out that I currently have in out, I will try them out and see how they do, and I'll definitely do a review on them. A girl named Curly Nikki was there, and a lot of people in the natural hair world are totally in love with her. Cute girl. She doesn't necessarily have like an African American hair texture though. Her hair is kind of like a nice, pretty texture, which, you know, it's a different type of process when you have, you know, kinkier hair texture. So definitely have beautiful hair. So I would obviously see the products working on her. So let me see how they work on my hair, which is a lot kinkier than Curly Nikki's hair. But like I said, I'll do a review on the products and let you know how they work. I'm actually interested myself to see how good they are, because I'm always looking for something that when I wash my own hair, when I'm in between installs, looking for something that's going to make my hair, you know, nice and moisturized. Other than the obvious stuff, the shea butters, the olive oil, stuff like that. It'd be nice to not have to mix products up at home. You could just go to the store and get something off the shelf and keep it moving. So what's going to happen is once I'm finished braiding, I'm going to take the 2 bundles of hair that I have, I'm going to open them up fully, and then I'm going to put them together. Because with this $50 weave process, it's double tracking, which means the hair is spaced a certain amount apart from each other, the tracks, and I think it's 2 fingers in between each track is the spacing that most of the salons are using that provide the $50 weaves. So in order to get still a full look, because it's only going to be about maybe 6 or 7 or 8 tracks maybe, you want to make sure that the hair is full, and that's why you double the tracks. So almost done braiding. You do 2 on each side and 4 on the back. That's the amount of braids that you have in. And usually when you get this done, you have somebody else that's braiding. You have somebody else that's braiding. Sorry, my laptop keeps timing out, so I want to make sure that the video is showing you what it needs to show, so I still need to see, so forgive me when I have to reach over and tap my screen. I should have turned the timer off, but too late now. But usually when you get this done, usually when you go in, somebody else braids your hair, and then somebody else does the sewing and styling. So right now this would be the braider's job. 2 braids on each side, connect them to the back. 4 braids going down, and then you're going to see shortly how I connect those. This weave will still be very flat to touch, if provided that the person braids and sews correctly. Don't think that just because the braids are larger that the weave is not going to be flat, because it still will be. Especially, with the braids, with the tracks sewn in the proper way. The left hand pull technique, which you're going to see shortly, is what ensures that the tracks lay flat. And if you're trying to learn how to do weaves, if you can get that technique down, your life will be improved greatly. Another good thing to do is to already have your needles threaded, which you should be doing when your braider is braiding, is making sure that your needles are threaded. Okay, so then what you do is you take these 3 braids, you braid them. You take these 3 braids and you braid those. This is how you're going to make sure that it's pretty as flat as it could possibly be in the back. What a lot of people will do is, that I guess the downside to having the $50 weave in this braid process is because you get kind of like that little lump in the back. There's a different way that you can do it to not get that lump, which is not the $50 weave process, so that's why I'm choosing to not do it that way. So you take these 2 braids, you pull them up this way, and now I'm going to sew those 2 together in the back. I'm using a blonde thread so you can see where the thread is going. So don't leave me any messages asking me why the thread is blonde or why the hair is blonde. This is strictly pick these colors so you could see what I'm doing. Makes it easier to see. Okay, you see how I'm sewing these braids up? So my first track is going to start in the back. What you don't want to do, like I said, is spend a lot of time doing this process. I hear all the time about people saying that they are getting their weaves done and it takes hours to do, which I really don't understand why. I said I was going to go to a salon and get my weave done, which I haven't had anybody do my weave in a long time, probably at least 17, 18 years. Because I want to really see what is taking people so long to do a weave. I just don't get it. Because obviously, as you can see, it does not take a long time. So you take your hair, you unravel it, and like I said, once again, because no matter how many times I say this, somebody's going to still ask why I use this blonde color when the mannequin's hair is black and why I have blonde thread. I'm doing it so you can see what the thread looks like when it's on and what the tracks look like when they're placed. Having messy thread and messy tracks makes messy weaves, so everything you really want it to kind of look neat, so you don't have a horrible weave. So you double your tracks like that. Sandwich these two pieces of hair together. And this stuff right here that I'm doing obviously is, like I said again, stuff that you could be doing while your client is getting braided down. Okay, so your first track, you put the needle through your track, through your tracks. And you start to sew. Now you see how I have my left hand pulling the track along as I'm sewing it down. This is what the left hand pull technique is about, and it makes it go along much faster. If you can get this technique down, like I said, you will be golden in life when it comes to doing weaves. Okay, first track. Got it? Don't set your hair down. Keep your hair in your hand. Or keep your hair hanging on your arm. First track. And you go to your second track. Like I said, about 2 finger spaces apart. I'm using this new little camera. It's tucked behind my ear, so it's kind of making it easier for me to make this video. Hopefully it comes out right, and hopefully I know how to upload the video and everything is cool, but we shall see. A lot of times I get emails and people asking me if I do education. I do let people shadow me in the salon. If you want to shadow me for a day, just hit me up and ask me what the cost of that is, because there's obviously a ton of things outside what I'm doing right now that you could be learning how to do. You just have to pay close attention, because you won't be able to take photos, because I'll be working on my clients, and I don't think they would appreciate that, but you could definitely come and shadow me and pick up some amazing tips. I do a full closure or lace closures, sew and weaves in about an hour and maybe 30 to 40 minutes. That's with a circle braid, curling, everything all done. Obviously, the faster that you can do a weave, the more money that you'll make. So you can come in and shadow me in the studio for a fee, of course, but it'll teach you how to increase your profits. So if you're interested, just hit me below, send me your email. I'll let you know what the cost is for you to come in and shadow me for a day. Okay, strong. Okay. That's your second track. Okay, so you have two tracks placed in the back. Now your third track starts right above the ear on the side of the head. This thread that I'm using is cotton thread, which I used to love, but I don't use it anymore because the needles that they're making now the hole is so small it makes it difficult to thread. So now I use this, the nylon thread, which I really like. It's super strong. It's really good. You know, when you first start out, you want to go a couple times around in the beginning to make sure that your track doesn't come off or come loose. Now what I like to do sometimes too to make sure that the thread is secure is I'll end it on one side and then I'll go back. I'll show you 1 second what I mean. So I'll end it, and then I'll go back. Basically, you're going to just make sure that your tracks don't fall out. You wouldn't believe when I was working in Atlanta, and I was a lead stylist, my job was to make sure that the weaves that were leaving out were of good quality. And a lot of times when I would check other stylists' work, the tracks would be falling out, which I just never could understand. Like, what are you over there doing when you're sewing? So, if you go back like that, that'll make sure that the tracks don't come off. Okay, that's 3 tracks. Oh, let's put this next track in. Now, personally, if I was not doing a $50 weave, there would be other things that I would do to this basic weave to make it better. I would sew a perimeter track around first from one side of the head to the other, going all the way down the back. What that makes sure that happens is, one, that the weave is full. It brings the hair line closer to the face and kind of gives you those, that Kim Kardashian winged look in the front that everybody loves. But with a $50 weave, you don't get that, so I'm not doing it. you want to try to finish this whole process, I'm going to give it about 40 minutes. And then be on to the next client, because for $50, you're basically making $50 an hour. It's not bad, right? A lot of you might want to rethink your jobs when I say something like that. $50 an hour is a good salary. So what I'm going to do is do probably 3 more tracks, and that'll give me a total of 7. So when threading your needles, you know that you want to have at least 8 to 9 needles threaded. Basically, with this 7 tracks, you're going to use up most of, if not all, of your hair. My last track at the top, where it's close to the leave out part, I do not double, so it can be a nice seamless. And unless the customer asks for it, sometimes people want like all their 2 packs in, and then you got to get it in. But they get a little bit weird, but obviously, personal preference. Once I tell them why I don't double the last track, they kind of understand and they're good with it. Now with the $50 weave, you can get some other stuff a la carte, I'm pretty sure. I don't think things have changed that much. I've only been gone from Atlanta for about a year and a half. But you can get some stuff a la carte, like your cut or your curls, or extra pack of hair. Which now people want so much hair in their head. My goodness. I mean, I like 3 bundles or 12 ounces of hair in my head, but people sometimes come with like 6 4-ounce bundles, and they're like, put it all in. Which then, of course, to handle the heaviness, you would need to have a net to help secure the braids, minimize damage, things like that. I'm kind of interested. You guys tell me how long it takes you to get your weaves done. Mention it in the comments below, and then tell me why you think it takes that long, because I really want to know. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Like this, my client just told me the other day it took her a person. She had an appointment at 6 o'clock. She wasn't finished till 11:30, and she didn't get a style. And I'm asking her, what was the person doing exactly? I said, did she have other clients? You know, because sometimes people obviously do, 2 or 3 clients at a time. She said no. I'm like, well, what were you getting exactly that it took so long? She said she just didn't know. She said the girl was working on her head the entire time. Like, those are the stylists that I would love to have, for them to set up something where they can come and shadow me for a day so I can help them, with their speed. Because, you don't want to lose clients, which that stylist obviously did, because now the girl comes to me. You don't want to lose clients behind not having good speed. This is ridiculous. 5, 6 hours? No. I mean, literally hour 3, I'm going to be turning around looking like, listen, this is not working out for me. And I'll be ready to get up. Like, unless you're doing something really time-consuming, like infusion or microlinks or something like that, which still shouldn't take 6 hours, but, you know, whatever. But please, in all of curiosity, and if you're a stylist watching this and it takes you a long time, you tell me why you think it takes you a long time, because inquiring minds want to know. Okay, like I said, you go back a little bit to secure the track. Make sure it's not going to come off. Okay, and I'm going to go for my last track. Like I said, I'm just going to not double the last one, so it can be like really, really smooth. I'm doing this from home today. It's on a Sunday, my only day off, so because I promised that I would make this video a couple of days ago. I don't want it to be too long before I come through on my promise. And what would be good for you guys to do is to send this link out and share it with your friends. You know, everybody can't afford to get their hair done. So if they can figure out or find out how, you know, a quick way that they can get their hair done and figure out how to do it, learn how to do it, it's nice to share. So pass the link along. I started doing hair when I was about 17, 18. I've been doing hair for a really long time. A good thing about doing hair is we don't have to really deal with recession because women are always going to get their hair done. So if you're in a business and you're kind of thinking of, you know, a different avenue to go down to make more money, hairdressing is a wonderful art. So along with the $50 weave, I'm glad I thought about to mention this, you have to purchase hair that's already straight, because going from curly hair to straight hair or wavy hair to flat iron is going to cost a little bit more, and you don't want to have to incur extra charges. What I do when I'm doing my last track at the top is I won't tie it up at the top. I'll bring it through and tie it somewhere down on the lower part of the weave, because you don't want to have to feel that little knot that this tying gives you up at the top of your hair. Okay, you see that? The sewing process is complete. Okay, you take your leave out down. And all you got to do now is flat iron that leave out. $50 weave. You leave out. And the reason why the hair has to be straight is because you just flat iron it really fast, and then with it already being straight, it only takes a couple seconds. Like I said, there's no cutting involved. So, for time's sake, I'm not going to flat iron it, which really would only take, at the most, 5 minutes. Okay, and that's it. Now you have your $50 weave installed. Your girl looks good. It's nice and flat to the touch, very flat. She can still pull it back into a ponytail. Not up, not up like this, but she can pull it back and still have a nice look. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is your $50 weave, and we've done that in under 40 minutes. I'm Fashion. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.